When people start business, you think that, how much will I make and everything? But ask yourself, what kind of value am I providing? Most young people of today are looking at what they will get first than the value that they are giving out. Nobody funds startups. There's a quote that says that when you help someone solve their problem, your problem will be solved. If you cannot manage your pocket money, you cannot manage your salary. How to manage money is not being taught in school. In every money that you receive, there is a seed and there is a fruit. If you save money today, money will save you tomorrow. I thank God for 9 to 5. It disciplines you, because if you start a business, nobody is controlling you. You don't have a board, so you think you are on your own. But when you work for someone, you learn the habit of work. So you can take the same habits to your business. Don't wait for someone to fund your idea for you. When you allow people to fund you, they have control, they can control you.
Welcome to today's episode of My Business Story, where real entrepreneurs share the raw, unfiltered journey behind their brands. We explore the moment that shaped their hustle, the challenges they've overcome, and the lessons they are still learning. Whether you are building your own business or just love a good story, you are in the right place. Let's get into it.
My name is Joshua Kwemesa. I'm the sales director and the founder of the Young Investors Network and the African Entrepreneurship School and Social Impact. The Young Investor Network started in 2009 whilst a student in the university with three young guys who all left the Young Investor Network. It's a financial development organization that focuses on empowering the youth and professionals on financial literacy, because if you look at Ghana as a whole, there are professional financial illiterate. So we decided to found the Young Investor Network to bridge the gap, because financial literacy is not really taught in school. And that's why we found the Young Investor Network. We are 17 years and we've empowered over 1 million students. We have a collaboration with the Ghana Stock Exchange. Now, currently, if you look at the Ghana Stock Exchange, a lot of people are running to it because we also play a role by empowering the youth to invest in the stock market. We also run the African Entrepreneurship School. The African Entrepreneurship School, growing up, my mom, who is a trader at the Mokola markets, I realized that they don't know their needs and wants. They don't have financial records with their business. So as an investment banker working, I decided that why can't we get a program that can support these people? So we started the African Entrepreneurship School that will help formalize the informal sector. I started working at a very young age. I was working in the bank called Data Bank. I worked there for 10 years at Data Bank. So after working in the brokerage department of Data Bank, I realized that there's a need, there's a big gap, there's a problem to solve. There are two main problems. We have the informal sector and the youth. So that's why we found the Young Investors Network and the African Entrepreneurship School in 2009. Growing up, I wanted to be a banker. And all my life, I've seen a lot of people working in the bank. I said, oh, let me also work in the bank. But I realized that that's not my passion. So after working in the bank for 10 years, I said, okay, wow, there's a need, there's a gap. And I think we have a calling to support the informal sector and the youth in Ghana. And there are a lot of young people who want to start their own business. But I think that before you start a business, try and be the intrapreneur yourself. So get a place to work. Because I was working in the bank. I do a lot of things that entrepreneurs does. Before I resigned, I took my resign letter to the HR for more than 5 times. I couldn't handle it because it wasn't easy. It was not easy to start your own business. And I'm looking at being the main person, paying people. Can see that I have a lot of work. I have workers that I pay now. Then they are rather paying me. So all the something like the medical bills, all the things that you get is free, you are not going to get it again. So I always tell young people that you need to become an entrepreneur before you become an entrepreneur. It's okay for you to work for someone and get the skills, get the experience before you start your own business. And I believe that by the grace of God, I have been in the industry for 17 years. And I know we are not there yet, but what we have achieved with kind of people that we have supported, people that have passed through the Young Investors Network, who are currently working in the place like Bank of America and others. If you look at the SMEs, people that we have groomed, people who are informal, we will now formalize. People are now getting grants through us. So I believe that everyone needs to lead yourself first. That has been an entrepreneur before entrepreneur. In the beginning, I remember we were 4 guys, yes. So we have a wild dream. We were students at the Central University, myself, Elvis, Benjamin. So we were having a plan to start a business. We have a plan to have a bank. That's the thing. We are dreaming young. So dream big, but start small and act now. That's what we did. So all of us have a plan. We want to start. We started putting money together. We started savings together. Then we even opened a kind of microfinance together. As young as we are, we are students, and we are under 24 years. And we started in the year 2008 and 9. Whilst I was a banker, I was working in the bank. They're also working in the bank. But as time goes on, they realized that it's difficult to start this business. So all of them decided to, because we lost the capital, over 80,000 Ghana cedis in our first business, which is a microfinance, and we stopped. So they all stopped their business. So I have to continue working alone as the founder and the director of the Young Investors Network. So through the Young Investors Network, we realized that, I remember my mom always have a challenge with their record keeping. So we started what we call the Foundation for Financial Inclusion, which focus on inclusion of the SMEs, micro businesses, informal sector, and the entrepreneurs by giving them all the proper record keeping, formalizing their business for them. So through the Young Investors Network, we had the FFI, Foundation for Financial Inclusion. Then we now have the Africa Entrepreneurship School, which have really impacted a lot of young people, a lot of entrepreneurs, formalize their business, build their business investment readiness. We have what we call the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. We move them from the fixed mindset to the growth mindset. And that's what we are doing now. Yes, I have a solid business idea, but I was afraid. Most entrepreneurs have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of ideas, but I was afraid to that, okay, this idea is very good. Let me implement it. But I'm also looking at what I'll lose after working on my own. And I decided to take the risk by leaving my 9-to-5 job, a very lucrative job at Data Bank. It was then one of the biggest investment banking, to start the Young Investors Network. Even though I was afraid, by the grace of God, I said, okay, my name is Joshua. I have to go to the promised land. And
so you're at the promised land.
I think I'm almost at the promised land. Earlier on, I believe that everybody have a skill. Everybody, you can learn the skill. I was a typical stammerer. I stammer those times before in school, before I start speaking. My classmates had to play the drum before I will speak. And that is how it is. But by the grace of God, I didn't even see myself as a trainer, because I have trained a lot of people. I have trained with the Ghana Jobs in Skills Project. I've trained across Ghana and other places. As a stammer, now training, now running one of the biggest financial literacy organizations in Ghana and Africa. We were one of the few organizations that were shortlisted for award at the American Saves Award. Okay, this started as an idea to support the people. So we started going to churches, and I started training people in the various churches. I go to a church, I go and train them on financial literacy, how to save money. I was just doing it. Me and my good friend called Bossman, who currently works in the bank, So we started doing that. But that's where I thought, wow, there is when someone will say, oh, now I can save money. Then our first program was at Accra Academy. I was in Central University, so we organized a program at Accra Academy, where we have fun book sponsoring us. That's the first one. And we gather a lot of students and we train them in collaboration with the Junior Achievement. So Young Investors, that time we were called Young Investors Network and Junior Achievement. And we started the program. After we are done, some of us in the rest is history. So that's our first program. So I resigned in 2015. So whilst I was working, I was also following my passion by training people in financial literacy. In fact, I was just training students. So students will read, give them the practical trainings. But one thing really happened. As we started the FFI, which is the Foundation for Financial Inclusion, we realized that there are a lot of young people. We were then working with Paul Mante, who is now the managing director for EcoBank Capital ADC. In 2014, I only train students. So normally I organize a program and I invite Paul to come and speak as a speaker. So Paul come and speak. But one time I called Paul to me that, Joshua, you've been following me for some time now. I'll come. Will you have come? So the people are there waiting for the speaker. Then Paul told me, Joshua, I can't make it. So you have to find the speaker. Now, these are my slides. And I started speaking to these entrepreneurs on how they can save money for their future, how they can even pay themselves as an entrepreneur. That was 2014 then. And that's how we birthed the African Entrepreneurship School. And so, wow, there's opportunity here. Some of them reached out to me that, Sir Joshua, they call me Sir Joshua. Sir Joshua, for the first time, I've been able to pay myself after you talking to me. And that's how we started the African Entrepreneurship School, to support these SMEs. Because if you can't pay yourself, you can work for so many years. Okay, in every money that you receive, there is a seed and there is a fruit. Every money that you received. So I tell entrepreneurs that every money that you're going to receive, you can put your money down. That's a seed. You invest it. And the food one is what you use to increase your businesses. For young people, most of them, money is not being taught in school. How to manage money is not being taught in school. Most of them learn from their parents. So they get their values. So how you manage your money in the house, your children will copy. Because money management skills is not being taught in school. So they come to school with the values of their parents. That's why if their parents don't know the difference between needs and wants, assets and liabilities, they will also go according to what they know. So whenever we train them, we say, okay, you have to look at your needs first. Then you take off your wants. They were so happy. They will now move on to what we call savings. Now, they thought I had to make money or I had to start working before I start saving. But anytime at all, I always say that if you cannot manage your pocket money, you cannot manage your salary. So most of the young people, I always talk to them, okay, one, when you receive pocket money from your parents, start putting money down. So you are creating what I call habit. If you do this for 90 days, it becomes an habit for you. Then, when you start working, you have the habit of, nobody can take the habit from you. You can start saving now. Then you move to investing. So currently, Young Investor Network and the Ghana Stock Exchange have trained over 1 million people on financial literacy, investment, stock market trading, and the rest. Now, look at the market people are doing. And we're going to over 300 schools where we are training them. We also work with Absa Bank on the Absa Money Matters, where we train over 200,000 students across Ghana. Okay, so most young people are eager to learn how to save and invest, but it's not in the curriculum. But for the SMEs, I think most of them have the ownership mentality. I own it, so nobody will tell me how to use my money. But mind you, if you register a business, your business has a name and you also have a name. So the business is separated from you. So you don't just own the business, you run the business. You are the MD, you run the business. When the business collapses, you should be fired. Even though you are the idea bearer, you are the idea, you started a business, you just don't own. So both of them have the ownership mentality. We have what we call the Jack. Jack is just a call. It's a program that we run, or a project that we run for these SMEs, because most of them can't read and write. So they just tell us, Jack, just a call. When you call us, today I made 50 Ghana cedis and I spent 10 Ghana cedis. Jack will record. We use AI to record all of them for you. At the end of the month, we will generate your statement for you. And these are some of the initiatives that we have done to solve the issue. Because most of them, when they make money today, they spend everything. Because out of the same money, they are paying their rent, they are paying their school fees, they are paying their electricity bill, they are paying their dollar fees and the rest, a lot of stuff. So they have not separated their business money from their personal money. For the African Entrepreneurship School and Social Impact, the way the social impact, we really do this. Our business model is to formalize the informal sector. Not just, we do this by this model. One, we will do a program, we work with the associations, both the informal associations, we call them, they come for our programs. When they come, some of them enroll in our Addition, what you call Addition Incubation Hub, or Addition Growth Incubation Hub. So most of them, when they pass through the Addition Growth Incubation Hub, that's where we formalize them. Addition is what? Learning. Okay, you have to learn. And we formalize them in the hub. So before they come out from the hub, they have what we call the business etiquette. First, they are informal, but now they are formalized. They have the business etiquette. They've changed their mindset. So we can see that they now start dressing well. They now looking at their clients, because when you change your mindset, you change what you do, how you do it, when to do it, where to do it. Informal setup people sometimes that their things anyhow. They don't follow up on their clients. They sell cheap. They don't add value to their clients. But with what we do, when you pass through the Addition Incubation Hub, you now change your mindset. You add value to yourself, add value to the value that you are giving out. It is difficult because 80% of Ghanaian business are informal. So some of them don't want us to know how much they are earning. So some of them don't want us to see their account balances, because when you're doing the jack will let you know how much your money that you're record keeping. So they don't want us to see. So it's difficult. And some of them still have the informal mentality. They are, mind you, they are not, most of them are not going to school. So you have to really help them by changing their mindset from the informal way to become formalized, so that they can be investor readiness. Because no investor will invest in a business that is not really, is not formalized. We want them to, and mind you, the informal sector is a major place that investor can look at. It's over $1 billion if we formalize them. So the Young Investor Network, we have process. So we go to the various schools. We have clubs in the various senior high schools and tertiary schools, tertiary institutions. So we have what we call the Yen Skills South Campus training. We train them, all of them, give them the employability readiness. We give them what we call career and employability readiness. And some of them, when they don't have, they are looking for academic qualification. But trust me, the academic qualification is not enough. You need to have the skills development, because you can get academic qualification, but when you start working, your skills will help you whether they will be maintained or not maintained. Your attitude. We have what we call the soft skills. So we give them all these soft skills training while they are in school. So after school, we have a lot of people who have passed through our model at the Young Investors Skills Campus Training Program. We have the problem solving skills. We have the creativity thinking. We have the AI training, digital skills, the tools, all of them. We also work with After Bank, where they do the After Ready to Work. We link them to mentorship. We link them to the industry. They do job on the job training. And most of them are now working with Bank of America. Goldman Sachs, Deloitte, KPMG, a whole lot across the world. And if you go to the industry right now, most of our people, what we started 17 years ago, some of them are MDs of companies. Some of them are lecturers. Others are, I remember one gentleman who had a job because of the Yen skills training. We also have what we call the stock pitch training. The stock pitch training is one of the fantastic programs. So this is where students, we give you the practical training on how to analyze stocks on the stock market. So how to do financial analysis. So these are students. And if we look at what is happening in the stock market right now, the student analyze the stocks and they predict that the share price of MTN will reach over 6 Ghana cedis. And now MTN is 6.4 Ghana cedis. This was done by this stock pitch people. We call it the Young Investors Analyst Program. When they are done, they will do the stock pitch competition where we give them scholarships. We also support them to get jobs. We have put a lot of them to jobs, career guidance, employability skills. We give them a lot of opportunities. We also run what we call the National Investment Quiz Competition. For me, this is one of the game changer. Just like NSMQ, National Investment Quiz Competition helps students to also impact or do a quiz. That is when you are answering question, we are also educating people. Okay, there are quiz when people go, they'll listen to a quiz, they'll clap, but they don't understand what the person is saying. You all know. But in quiz like what we do, National Investment Quiz, which is sponsored by the Ghana Stock Exchange, and we have the Central Security Depository. They are sponsored. They sponsored in other partners. So this quiz help these students. They'll learn. After that, they'll come and do the quiz. They'll write exams. Then they'll do the quiz. And the quiz will also educate the public on financial literacy, on investment education, on how to choose a particular stock. Not just a stock, on the financial technology. So we do some of these things. And most of them, wow, there's one gentleman who, from English Amapo Senior High School, went to UCC, do the quiz at English Amapo Senior High School, do the stock pitch, now working in Bank of America. So we are focused on impact. Yes, our business is social impact. So social impact, now the currency of this world is social value. When you support people, you go with the mindset of helping people, you make a lot of money. So I'm not saying we are making plenty of money, but because we have our sponsors who sponsor us. We have worked with the Stellar Development Foundation. We have worked with Stock Exchange. And because we believe in social value, when we give them value, then our sponsors also sponsor us. And apart from that, we just launched the Digital Literacy Academy. If you look at the informal sector, they are about 80 to 90%. Now the world is digital, the digitalization. Governments have done very well. We have the 1 million codex. Government is doing so many initiatives to support the digitalization system. But now ask yourself, who is helping this informal sector? So there will going to be a gap where the formal sector are all digitalized, but the informal sector people, some of them don't know how to do social media stuff, AI thing. So the Digital Literacy Academy is bridging the gap. We are taking them through the social media, then AI.
Ghana is home to over 2 million small and medium enterprises, the heartbeat of our economy. But only a few ever break through beyond their neighborhoods, beyond their streets, beyond their cities. That's why my business story exists, to give these everyday businesses the voice, visibility, and platform they need to succeed. If you believe in supporting local dreams and growing African businesses, then please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's tell their stories together.
Currently, we have 15 employees. Then we have the volunteers. We have the people who also are national service personnel and employees and volunteers. So 15 of them. When you don't get funding, because we believe in it, I used to use my own personal money to run. because digital literacy academy like this, we're being funded by ourselves. We started it. We are looking for funding to run. But because we don't have funding, doesn't mean that you shouldn't start your idea. Start the idea. It's not all the time you need funding to start something. Start something that makes something better. But if you have an idea, try. I believe in trying the idea. I saved our first month that we started our business. We lost 80,000 Ghana cedis. That means I've not lost money, but I've gained experience. So that means that I've used 80,000 cedis to gain experience. So when people start business, they will think about how much will I make and everything. But ask yourself, what kind of value am I providing? What kind of experiencing am I getting? Or who am I becoming? I wasn't 2009, I wasn't like this. Okay, currently we work with a lot of people, but 2009, I wasn't working with them. So ask yourself, who are you becoming? What kind of experience are you getting? So have a goal for yourself. Our goal as Young Investor Network to become the biggest to have the biggest investment fund in Africa. A fund where young people, as low when they are 18 years or 15 years, they can start saving for their future and they will grow. And we are doing something like this, working. For 8 years, it's become the biggest hub in Africa where we will formalize all the informal sector businesses. Because when you formalize them, they become investor readiness and they can attract more investors. So it's not easy like that, but believe in your idea. Start. And again, that's why I want to talk about my book. When you read my book, what we have, we call it the Entrepreneur's Day. You can use your fund with your money. Start with, because when you allow people to fund you, they have control, they can control you. But when you start with your funds, okay, the problem with entrepreneurs is that they want to get people's funds to run their business. That's why they don't pay themselves. So they are looking for funding. How much money are you putting in it? It's not about just sweat equity. If you go to Mokola market, you cannot tell me that nobody buy your product. No matter what, someone will purchase your product. But how much money have you put down for tomorrow? I remember that the time I resigned, my mother told me, why do you have to resign? You are working in the bank. Why should you resign to start your own business? So when you have family believing in you, okay, when you also believe in what you are doing and put your hopes in God, that is the one, He give you the vision bearer. So He's the one who give you the vision. So far as He give you the vision, He will help you to deliver the vision. So one of the main challenges that we have is the getting people, because getting the right people. Ghana, I believe that we have the right skills in here, but everybody wants to become entrepreneur. So, and I always say that either for you to become entrepreneur, become entrepreneur for someone. Ask all SMEs, they have challenge with workers, most of them. That's one challenge. For me, a lot of people want to work with us because we deal with a lot of young people. But when they come, we want to give them the values. Okay. We also realize that most people, when they come, they want to start their business. There's one challenge, there's a young guy that we train, we help, and the person pass, we start going to our own partners, start passing our back to take whatever we do from a particular funder that we have. So people come, if you employ someone and you don't put right things in place, they'll come and steal your ideas. You have to be very careful what you share with your people. Because people, I know someone who steals ideas, but when you trust God, no matter how many times the idea they will steal, just move on. So we have the funding challenge, we have the people skills challenge. We also have when people believe, because people want to work with already made projects. Now we have people who are doing what you are doing. Instead of giving you the funds to run, they rather do what you are also doing. So it's a challenge. I would say when you don't chase money, you believe in the dream, you give value, people will pay you for value. we work with a lot of sponsors, not by our own mind, it's by the grace of God that we have a lot of sponsors like Ghana Stock Exchange, CSD, a whole lot. I don't want to mention a lot of them here, but when you give value, instead of focusing on money, focus on the value that you are giving. When the money comes, you realize that the money is even more than the value that you are giving. So focus on value than the money. But most young people of today are looking at what they will get first than the value that they are giving out. So in our sponsor, the people that we normally sponsor, they look at what are we doing? Just imagine, look at someone from SHS1, you have helped the person, trained the person to the university, the person did the NIQ, did the stoppage, working, then do the masters. Look at the valuable chain of the person. That is value. That's what we call impact. That's why we have what we call social impact. We look at the social impact. When you do that, the funds will come. A quote that says that when you help someone solve their problem, your problem will be solved. I did a project for one. I didn't take any money. I did one lecturer, Dr. Iku, told us that sometimes it is okay to do things for free. First, do it for them to see how worth you are. So I did a project for a bank who give us less money, very less. But we are not looking at the money. We look at the value that we are giving to this particular bank. Then they came to us that, wow, I like what you have done. Now we want to work with you. So what they give us 20 times on what they give us. One of the strategies that people use is that look at the social value or social problems. So first, look at the social problems, then you also provide the social values. Now, social problem, look at what is happening. Look at the SDGs. Almost every banks, every institutions, one way or the other, are doing anything for the SDGs. So if you have another idea, look at some of the SDGs goals from goal 1 to all the goals. Okay, then you can also go to some of these institutions. Look at what they believe in. Look at their values. Look at where their objectives. Where are they spending their money? So their banks, you look at their corporate social responsibility, then you tune your proposal like it for them. Then you approach. But before you approach them, don't approach them and tell them that you want funds to start a project. Nobody help a startup. Yes. Nobody funds startups. Okay. There are people who fund startups. Here is there. We try to fund startups. We have what we call the Y impact, where there are people because they don't get funds from the banks and things, or we support them by putting money in their businesses. We do that. Okay. But if you want funds, start something. So we have a program called Start Something. So when you start something, whatever you have, start. There are things that you can start without money. You can walk, nobody can pay, you will not pay. God will give you legs to walk. So if you are going to a place to look for, you can walk. You can, in your community, you can gather people, you can talk, you can bring them together, train them, take pictures, do the impact first. Then you show them the impact. Then when they believe in what you are doing, then they can fund you. I will say about the young investor in the So for Young Investors Network, okay, there was, when we started the National Investment Quiz Competition, it's one of our proudest moments. And when a young guy reached out to me and said that, Joshua, because of the NIQ, I was able to finish my education with the funds that I got from the quiz. And I'm working in a bank in the UK. That's my proud moment. For me, when I see someone succeeding, that I feel joy about that. So I'm there by the grace of God, to support the youth. And the end result is when we make impact in your life. So there are so many of them. One gentleman that reached out to us that he finished senior high school represent the school for the national investment quiz. Couldn't go to school. We took the person. We pay school fees for him. Now he's working. And for me, anytime I see him, I say, wow, there is genius in you. But don't let money stop you from becoming what God has promised to become. Because you have to fulfill your destiny on earth. When it comes to African Entrepreneurship School, there's a lady who had not been to school before. And we have to help this lady to secure funding. Just imagine. We have to, there's a project called by TechnoSafe. This lady have not been to school before. And our aim is to help this lady to formalize the business. I remember when she had to do a presentation to the jury. I told her, when you go, be yourself. We change their mindsets. And among all the people who have the master's degree and the rest, she was among the top people that is selected for funding, who have not been to school before. And she presented in the local language, and she won the grant. And for us at Young Investors Network and Africa Entrepreneurship School and Social Impact, our mandate is to support the people, is to make impact in people's lives. You can be a young person, you can be informal sector or SME. When you join us, we'll help you to formalize your business. We started with a seed money with investment. So I always tell people that you can start with nothing. You can start with an idea. But we were fortunate, we have a knowledge on financial education. So in tertiary, we were putting money together. We were saving, save to extent that three of us were saving money. Then we have a young guy joining us too. So we use our savings, which was around 15,000 cedis, and we used the money to start a microfinance. Then everything collapsed. So from that on, I continue on with the idea that God has given us, and we start doing things for free. And now, by the grace of God, that's where we are. So not really the money, but sometimes I always tell people, your parents give you money if you are in school. If you are in school, your parents gives you pocket money. You can put some down and fund your idea. Don't wait for someone to fund your idea for you. There are 3 levels of life. First level is when you don't pay anything. We call it receiving level. Your parents gives you money. In this level, you are not paying anything to anybody. You are rather receiving money from your parents. Now, this is the important level of your life. If you don't manage this level very well, your last level will be difficult. So as an entrepreneur, if you are aged between from age 9, 10, 11 to age 23 years, that's where you receive money. You receive pocket money. You will receive money for your school fees. You don't pay school fees, you don't do anything. But from age 24 years to 60 years, that's the longest age of your life. In this age, you are going to pay. You pay electricity bill, you pay bola fee, you pay school fees, you pay traveling, every payment you are paying. If you are married and you're a young guy, you pay your wife, you pay so many things. But then from that, we call it the giving stage. Then we also have the accumulation stage. That is the final stage from 60 years to 100 or 120 years or any years that God gave you on that. That year, if you don't manage the 2 stages very well, it's going to affect your accumulation stage. So if you want to start a business, you have an idea, start. Sometimes you can, what do you want to do? Look at the SDGs, look at everything you want to do. God has given you a good idea. Start with the idea. Maybe you don't have money. You have friends, family and friends. It's a form of funding. You can ask them. You are in school. I always tell people that from the time you will be receiving pocket money, the time you receive pocket money at the age of, let's say, 9 years or 10 years to 23 years, your parents are giving you money. You did your national service. All this age you are receiving money. You can fund money from it. You can fund your business from it. When you put money down, a CD, small, you can use your money to start. There's a gentleman that we train. And so, Mr. Joshua, the person start putting money down. We trained there from a school, and she saved her pocket money to the extent that she said that after tertiary, I had to go and do my internship. I don't have money. My parents don't want to give me money. So I use my pocket money that I've saved to do it in my internship. Now, I tell people that the skills that you want, nobody will employ you if I don't do anything. Nobody. If you go to interview, that's what you do. What are you doing? If you tell the people that I'm not doing anything, I'm waiting for you to employ it, nobody will take you. But when you have a skill, you use internship, you are in school, and at Young Investors, that's what we do. So you spend 4 years in school. You should be able to have 2 years of working experience. Every year, you can do your internship. If you save your pocket money, you can use your pocket money to take TNT. Just do your internship. So that's what we do. We help people. And there's one lady that we help, the lady from Kimbu Senior, Kimbu Tech. I remember 2014, 13, it was 4 years. We spoke to them about saving money for tomorrow. And this lady saved a lot of money. In fact, then she was having 10,000 Ghana cedis. Senior high school students. So I called the parents to find out. They said, no, what we taught them, she was able to put the money down, save money from and she was then saving at Data Bank, I remember very well. And that's through our Young Investors Club. And, you know, this lady was able to save 10,000 cedis. And trust me, those times, there's no free SHS. So you have to pay your exams fee. That's the WASI or SSC, WASI exams fee. This lady called me that 20 of her colleagues have been staffed from school. And she withdrew over 5,000 cedis to register all these students. And she told me something. She said, Sir Joshua, one lesson that she have learned that if you save money today, money will save you tomorrow. And you know, now these 20 students are now working as doctors, bankers, policemen, teachers, all over. So I realized that everybody will lose money. But look at the money that you are going to lose. What impact is it doing for you? As an entrepreneur, you produce, people will not buy. As an entrepreneur, you start a business. People will not believe in your business. You might lose money. You might use the money to create something, but people will not buy what you have created. You are not losing money. I don't see ourselves of losing that 80,000 Ghana cedis. I see ourselves like buying the skill, buying experience with the 80,000 cedis. So instead of me saying that I've lost 80,000 cedis, I will say that I use 80,000 cedis to learn experience, to get experience. Because I've never run the business before then, but now we have so many business. We have the Y Read business where we sell books. We have the Y Impact where we invest in businesses, micro businesses. We have the African Entrepreneurship School. We have the Yen Care. We have the Young Investors, Y Invest. There's the mutual fund. I thank God for 9 to 5. I think that everybody should pass 9 to 5. Every entrepreneur should work for someone. If you don't work for someone, look for your competitor. If you are young, for example, if you want to start a clothing business, look for a competitor like Dress Abebio. Go and do internship with the person. Do the 9 to 5. It disciplines you because if you start a business, nobody is controlling you. You don't have a board. So you think you are on your own. Nobody forces you to start at 8 o'clock. But when you work for someone, you learn the habits of work, 9 to 5. So you can take the same habits to your business. So I would say that I'm happy and I thank God for my father who took me to Data Bank in the year 2004. And after that, I spent 10 years there, and I thank God for that. It's an experience. I see everything that you do as an experience. And one of the main things that you have to put is the Godfather. Number 1, Godfather. Number 2, Godfather. Number 3, Godfather. Number 4, Godfather. In everything that you do. Because 10 years of my life at Data Bank, I was able to have a lot of networking. That's why it's important for you to work, because when you work, you create a network. And mind you, your network is your net worth. If you are getting grants and other things, I have a project where a friend of mine say, okay, oh, Joshua, I'm linking you to this person. And the person just give you the project. So you need to work the 9 to 5. I didn't regret. I see that it's part of the process of becoming who God wants me to become. I am happy with what I do. I think what I'm doing is the purpose. And in order for me to fulfill my purpose, I need to pass that. But mind you, there is something called time for everybody. You cannot work for a place for a long time. You can work for a place for some time. But if you have a dream to fulfill your purpose, when you get to that level of the time that, yes, it's time for you to live, you can live. So first one is put God first. Is the author and finisher of our faith. He created it, he knows the end from the beginning. God is number one. When you get the idea, do it. Don't wait for the right time to start the idea. There's something called design thinking. And design thinking, there is prototype in the design thinking. So do it, test it before you come out. Then the other one is networking. Network everywhere. And the last one is that treat people very well. And don't look at people's background, where people are, to treat them, because you don't know who will help you tomorrow. Every SME, one thing that you need is to change your mindset. The way you see yourself will depend on where you'll be tomorrow. Change your mindset to believe in yourself. Dream big. Start now, but act now. Start small, but act now. I always tell SMEs that when you have a growth mindset, okay, growth mindset will move you from here to there. So for example, you are here, you want to move to there. How do you spell here? Here is H-E-R-E. How do you spell there? T-H-E-R-E. The difference is T. The T is the time that you need to change your mindset to move from here to there. So wherever you are, you can move, you can change. If you are selling from a tabletop, you can move from a tabletop to a mansion when you change your mindset. Don't look at your background. You see your background as an experience, but you can use your background as an experience to move from here to there. That's why we have this book. It's called The Entrepreneur's Payday. In this book, we want entrepreneurs to start paying themselves. Most entrepreneurs don't know how to pay themselves. They don't pay themselves. They use their company's money. So most of them are, excuse my language, you are thieves because you don't pay yourself and you use the company money to run the house. How will you grow your business? We have what we call a business wallet. A business wallet is a wallet that you use to run your business. Then we also have the owner's wallet. That's where you pay yourself from it. Then we also have the growth wallet. That is where you save for the future, for your business. Then we also have the future wallet. That is your pension. That's the entrepreneur's payday. Again, we also have the master your money, master your business. This is one of the books that I like. Now, it helps entrepreneurs to keep business money and personal money separately. You track every cedi that comes in and out. Always spend less than you earn. Save a portion of your profits for emergencies. Reinvest wisely to grow your business. Pay yourself a fair salary, not all the profits. Set a budget and stick to it. Avoid unnecessary debts. Borrow when necessary. Negotiate better deals to save money. Know your business costs inside out. These are the books that you can get from the Africa Entrepreneurship School for all SMEs. So you can go to our website, Young Investors Network, or Why Invest, African AES Ghana.org, or you can visit all our social media handles: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. We are mostly on LinkedIn. Yes, AES African Entrepreneurship School. We are the Young Investor Network. We're also on TikTok. Yeah. If you learn financial analysis and everything, come to us. We are there to support you. If you want to grow your business, join the African Entrepreneurship School and Social Impact. You can call us on 024-2177-867.
Thanks for watching today's episode of My Business Story. If this inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone chasing their own dream. Subscribe for more real stories from entrepreneurs across Ghana and beyond, because every business has a story and yours could be next. See you in the next one.